Stacy and I actually went on our first date in 2001. We went prior to that a couple of times just on regular fun dates, and she was always trying to hold my hand, but I didn't want to because I didn't know if I wanted a relationship. She would deny this.
He would say that. No, I was just feeling things out by putting my hand available to see what his intentions were. I never reached for his hand or anything like that. It was all to see what intentions were.
So I held her hand at the movies, and the first movie we saw as a date was the movie called From Hell, so that was pretty special.
I do not recommend that movie, it's horrible.
So we started dating, and that turned out to be a really fun and friendship/relationship as time went on.
They were a great match, and Bryan and I got to hang out a lot. We became really close, not just as, my sister's boyfriend, but as my brother-in-law, or my brother, really.
Bryan and Stacy have one of the coolest relationships of any couple that I know. They are absolutely crazy about each other. Anytime you're around them, you're laughing and having fun, and it's so evident and apparent how much they just cherish each other and how much they love doing life together.
So being with Stacy and being in a band, she was a student at college. I was pretty much a student at college. I was jumping all over the place. Was a pretty crazy life.
He went on tour with the band, and sometimes I would meet up with them in the summertime when they were off of school. Otherwise, they played youth groups every week. They played shows on the weekends.
That's where we actually met our manager at a summer camp.
It was very, very hectic.
We actually got married in 2004, and I was full-time 10th Avenue North pretty much at that time. So we got off of our honeymoon, and that next day we were on tour, sleeping in a room with all the guys on the floor straight after our honeymoon, so she was not too keen about that.
There's nothing like coming off your honeymoon and then spending 2 full weeks sharing an attic with a bunch of people.
It was definitely a different life, and it was a hard life, at least where the band was at that time.
We never saw each other. It was really hard. And they would go away for the weekends, but everything was very unorganized at the time as far as when they were going and where they were going and if I could go. So it was a lot of times, often Friday afternoon, I'd be done with my internship and I'd be going, are you leaving? Can I go with you? We didn't know what time, we didn't know when we'd be back, if I could sleep there. As
time went on, I actually felt a calling to leave the band. We really wanted to start a family. We wanted something that was more rooted in a foundation.
And so that's when my dad offered him a position at Suncoast to be in charge of multimedia and web design.
I was mowing the grass sometimes. They had me doing all kinds of stuff. But what was also cool was that I was able to transfer me playing bass guitar with 10th Ave into playing bass guitar and singing and everything like that here at Suncoast.
As a drummer, it's very important to have a really good bass player that has chemistry with the drummer and that can play with the drummer very well. And Bryan is one of the best bass players I've ever played with.
He can just do things, and naturally. He's probably one of the most naturally talented people I've ever met.
He's one of the greatest bass players that I know.
Stacy and I were even able, when we had a Northport campus one point, to actually lead worship for over a year, her and I. So it's always been a great way for me to be able to transfer what I feel is God's gift to me, which has definitely been music, and be able to use it in all kinds of different ways. Currently, and we should be done by now, we have 3 children. Those 3 kids are Colin, who is 6, Peyton, who is 4, and Brady, who is almost 2. They are definitely the joy of my life in many ways. What's cool is that they've grown up in Suncoast, so they have quite the extended family. They are here all the time and hanging on all my coworkers, but they love them, which only makes me love my coworkers more, because it's just like a giant family. And it's one of those things where your kids grow up and call all these people uncles and aunts, even though they're not really uncles and aunts, but that's what it feels like here at Suncoast. They just have people that will, it's kind of cool that they actually fight over who can have the most attention from my children. So that's pretty awesome. Family life at home with my kids right now is pretty interesting. I only get so many hours in the afternoon after work to spend a lot of time with them. So usually what that time is spent is either going on errands, or at home we go and swim in the pool a lot, We like to go on golf cart rides around our neighborhood, watch cartoons with the kids, anything that's interacting and playful, little dance parties, you name it, we do it.
Bryan and Stacy actually live in my guest house, or I live in theirs, kind of subjective, however you want to look at that. They are the coolest family. They're always together, always laughing. I love every time I walk by. They're so easy to stop and talk to and so cool and so much fun.